That event is the 13th.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
I don't know if you're interested, but next weekend there's a dressage schooling show in Lexington. I didn't know if you wanted to ride her in
Where's
that.
Lexington?
South Carolina.
Yeah, where?
I don't know. I just wrote on the
Oh.
calendar.
Well, it's like between here and Columbia.
Oh, all right. I gotta.
Lexington, South Carolina is where the Michelin plant is. It's probably a half an hour from here. It's the South Carolina Dressage Association, or
SCDTCA, yeah.
what?
The SCDTCA. South Carolina Dressage and Combined Training Association.
Right.
Very good. And think about her moving her left shoulder toward your right rein a tiny bit without bending her neck anymore. That's a specific, good job, specific pinpoint of body to move. And then the outside rein stays connected. Good job.
I do like riding her in spurs.
Yeah?
I do feel like I get a lot more response.
Good. As long as you behave with them.
Being, you know, her with being resentful.
I'm sure she'll let you know if you're overusing them. Very nice. And make sure in the leg yield you open in this direction the left rein, and the one you were just doing, the left rein, to give her a place to go. The walk could march a tiny bit more. There you go. Now it looks like it has purpose. And that's very good, moving from the right leg. It's something she doesn't want to do, especially from the barn. Away from the barn. And then the walk doesn't get to speed up. She was anticipating a trot transition, yeah? Good. Drop your left shoulder. Don't collapse the right rib cage. Eyes up. Lower your left shoulder. That's better. Which one's the hurt one?
Left.
Okay, make it go lower. There you go. That's what I wanted. But that's not where it wants to be. Yeah, very good. Nice off the left leg. Very good. Outside rein keeps the hind end in check so it stays with the program. Very nice. Now halt. Oh, and you wanted to trot. She didn't hear me. Let's do that trot transition again, since there was an anticipation beforehand. The transition itself was good, but she anticipated it beforehand. So it has to be a clean walk, march, 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 march to a clean trot. Eyes, shoulders open, chest open. Just going to give that right jaw a tiny bit more. trot again. Yep, feel that hesitation?
Yeah.
So we got to clean that up a little bit by doing a few more. Good. Walk again. Walk transition's not bad. And then trot again. Better. So every time you come to the walk, you're already preparing for the trot. Good. And then walk again. She's wanting to stiffen that right rein. When you pick your trot back up, counterbend. Good with the counterbend already. Yeah, I agree. She has to soften that right side in order to come through from the inside to the outside. Better. That felt like the best one?
Yeah.
Good. Change direction and do some more. She stays off the left. She stays off the right. You create the box that she's going to stay in. Shorten the reins a little bit so they don't end up in your lap. Good. Now open your upper body. You are about 2 inches from being parallel shoulder to hip. Okay, she jutted her nose and hollowed just a little bit. So make that plan. It was very, very correct and when asked, but it has to stay soft through the transition. Good, upper body tall. And this saddle entices you to lean forward. I know that. That was a better downward.
I feel like she's bracing a lot.
Okay? And this is where I could be saying she may be a little bit sore today.
Yeah.
So we ask her to come a little bit deeper and maybe a little bit lower and see if we can't get her back to soften up a touch more.
I just meant when I make the transition.
I agree.
Yeah.
But it may be, I don't want to step underneath because it stretches my back. I'd rather avoid that. Thank you very much. Yeah, very good. Now, good job. Ask her to be that little bit deeper. Go ahead and go into your serpentine. That's great. Or your change. And in your loops, overbend her a bit. Say, I need a little more bend through your body. I need you to come over the top a little bit more. And as she starts to loosen up and give, it will get better and better. If this is all she does, if she's exercise sore, that's great. Go ahead, a little deeper than that. Say, I'd love it if you could give me your jaw that little bit more. And I know you can get her up when you want to. So let's ask her to come a little deeper, not float the left rein, keep it attached. Good. Circle. And in that circle, overbend her a bit left because she's still that touch tight in the throat and the base of her neck. I'd like to see that let go. I'd love to see her be able to do a stretch warm-up, soft left and right. Spiral in. Yeah. And ask for the right bend. Say, I need you to give me your right rib cage a little bit more. Yeah, inside bend in the spiral. Ask her to bend her head and neck. She doesn't want to give that right jaw as much, but don't let go of the left rein. Follow her, but stay connected with it. Yeah. Bend her a little more. You're going to make it a little bit hard. There you go. Good. Yeah, and then go large. and say, yeah, that's what I'm after. It's not everything. There's a reward. Then she can come back again. It gives you a chance to not get dizzy too. And now come smaller and ask her to give and be deeper again. Keep that left rein connected. I don't want to see that left rein float. Yeah, and bend her. Bring your hand back over your thigh, not across the wither, over your thigh. Yeah, that engages your hip and leg at the same time. Walk for a second. If your hands are here and you do this, you only work with the withers forward.
Okay.
If you do this, you ask your hip and leg to join the program. It's an automatic, it has to join the program if you open your hand. Now, classical dressage does not want you to move your hands, period. But we have to get through some moments so that we can go to classical position. So always strive to go where you belong afterward. But if you have to open your rein, open it. Spiral down right now at the walk. Yep, bend her and ask her to give it. But don't no chicken wing. Open it this way. Leave your elbow at your side. There you go. I don't know if your shoulder will be able to do that or not. Yeah, and then outside rein controls the speed of it, but don't let go until she's given. Outside rein controls the speed of the spin. Make it a walk, and let her figure out how to let go of it. Give with your fingers. Yeah, good. Did she let go?
Yeah.
Very good. So I don't want it to be a fast spin. I want it to be a rhythmical give from a small place. Yeah, and she needs to let that go. Outside rein does a little take give and says, I got your back. You're not going to fall over. But I want you to be able to, when she gives that rein, push it forward and not have her head move. It should just stay in that bend because she's truly given to you. So do that one more time. Does all that make sense? Yeah, elbow in, hand out. There you go. Yeah, keep it. When she there you go, that's a give. And I don't want you to let go of it, I want her to let go of it. I want you to talk to her and not make it a forced issue. But she is going to figure out, if I give or let something go, then everything gets softer, good girl, and more pleasant. And then you find out as you do that, you ask her to give, she can give better.
Yeah. What I didn't understand about what you said is that when she gives, not to release with my hand, that
You don't need to, but I want you to be able to.
and have her head not move though.
Right, but when you,
Because
if you've asked her to bend and
Yeah.
she truly gives,
Yeah.
she'll drop her nose and truly give. She's not straightening until you tell her to. So your outside rein would then straighten her.
But if I give when she gives, it's going to give her more rein and
She's already given. No, she shouldn't. If she snaps back, it's because she hasn't truly let go of whatever it is she needs to let go of.
She should stay there with a loose rein on the
However
inside.
however long you keep her there, if she's connected to the outside rein. I mean, not a day.
No, but there's no connection on the inside rein.
You shouldn't have to use an inside rein. You should only need an outside rein and an inside seat bone and leg, right? The only thing the inside rein really does is chat to them every now and then. That's the only purpose the inside rein has. Technically, you shouldn't need to ride with reins at all. But if your horse is soft, if you bend your horse and then you give and the horse snaps its head back, not only did you give to it, but it got to return to straight. So it never gave. It bent obediently, but it never gave. Never truly gave and let go. When she's bent over here and she goes, oh yeah, this is a softer place, she's given to you.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to give the rein in, means you can. And sometimes I'll do it just to say, now I have you between this, this, and this. Now I have you and my seat. I don't need this. When I straighten you, I need to then say, this is as far as I want to straighten you. This rein then takes place again, but it's just doing a light chatter. The amount of weight that I have in my reins when I'm riding, desirably, is about the weight of the rein.
Right.
I don't want heavier than that. If I give them heavier than that, there are circumstances I will do that, like my Pinto Cochise, because he's so inclined to drop behind. If he's willing to take the contact and hold it, I'll take whatever weight he wants to hold.
Yeah.
For now, it still has to be soft, but I'll take whatever weight he wants to hold. And the only reason that the head should stay there is because you've asked her to obediently give, and she's going, okay, I've given, here I am, what would you like me to do next? Not, can I straighten and go that way?
But if I feel so stupid asking
No,
this,
that's
but I
fine.
just don't understand. If I'm not holding her there with the inside rein, then how does she know when to go back?
Your left rein straightens her. Your left rein, and automatically.
Because what you're saying is that I've let her go there with the outside rein.
You've asked her to go there.
I've asked her to go there with the outside rein. I've not pulled her there with the inside rein.
Well, yes, you've asked her, by not letting go of the outside rein and abandoning it, you have asked her to truly go to the outside rein and be connected to it. And if she's soft, if she truly gives, this outside rein is workable, but it's
Right.
connected.
Right.
And then I can say, now I would like you to straighten. And not only, if you do this, my body automatically asks her, my body automatically puts my hip in, automatically puts my leg in, and makes my shoulders say, bend around my leg.
Yeah.
And then as I straighten, I go, okay, now I would like you to come here. And just like a bicycle, I'm taking her back, and here she is. And now I have my contact again. But I don't, to answer that, I can see a little bit where you're confused. When I give that rein to see if she'll maintain, I don't just stay there. I give it, say, okay, great, she didn't snap her head back. Now I come back and then I straighten.
Okay.
So I've established, yes, she's given, yes, it's there, and it's all a matter of seconds.
Right.
Yes, she's given, yes, she's there, and now I'm going to straighten her back again, and I'm going to ask this way.
Okay.
Does that make sense
Yeah.
now? And if it doesn't, like, we need to break it down, but
Yeah.
but essentially you're asking her to yield to pressure, period. If she yields and you don't, if she gives and you have a connection, just a light connection, and you're happy with that, that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you can then say, what if I want you to yield here? Okay. What if I want you to yield here?
Yeah. No, when I start the spiral, she's really heavy on the inside.
very.
And then she'll finally let go.
But that's her whole body bracing.
Right.
And then when she lets it go, she's rideable.
Right.
And
But
that-
what was confusing me was that I thought you were like, I should be able to just completely drop the inside rein and have her stay there for as long as...
Oh,
you
as
know.
long as, yes, no.
Yeah.
Not as long as ever, no.
Right. And then I was like, well, I didn't understand
How's
how
that
was
work?
going to happen. Yeah. So...
No, that
was
makes
what-
sense.
Yeah, that's what was confusing
But then
me.
ultimately, if you watch a rider that does bridleless riding
Yeah.
on the bit,
Yeah.
fascinates me. I have never tried it. I've tried loosening reins, but they are going from the body, period. And
Yeah.
you ask that horse to bend or pirouette, it
Yeah.
all happens. It's
Yeah.
fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And I'll play with it when I'm free walking on a long rein. I will turn my body and turn my hip and see if the horse follows, and they do.
Yeah.
But to ride without my reins is a little more than I can handle.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to work. So now it's just like starting at square one, right?
Yeah.
We've been standing here chatting. She's like, "Oh, good, we're done." You go, "No, not quite yet." So the same questions apply.
Yeah.
Good girl. Yield to pressure is good. Taking it back is not. So if she takes it back after she yields, then you have to just right away say, I need you to yield again. Yep. Good girl. And then even in this place, how low can I put you? Can I put your head all the way to the ground in this place? And when I do that, not only have I gotten the throat to give, I've gotten the base of her neck to give. So she can stretch all the way down and let that go, and it stretches that ligament that goes from her pole all the way to her tail. Now remember, good girl. The take-give theory is very good, but take-give and not drop the contact. Don't take and give the contact.
Yeah.
And you walk when your mother says walk, and you walk off soft. Aren't you being well behaved? Good girl. And that's hard to go from this moment to the walk step and stay soft and round and low. Is hard. That's exactly what you need to strive for. You need to get through this. It's hard, but really it's not all that hard if you figure out how to do it. She struggles with that because she feels she needs, there, really good. She needs her head and neck to balance. She doesn't need her head and neck to balance. She needs you to be in the middle, and she needs her body to stay steady and in the right place. Now ask her to go lower again. If I take a little tension with both reins, still doing an open and close of my fingers, do you yield lower? And the answer is yes, very good. Now, can I go from this place to the trot, marching on, to the trot without her popping her head up? And this is 10 gazillion transitions to get that all down. Especially off of a jump day or a gallop day, even a day off. They're like, I didn't have to do this yesterday. Why do I have to do it today? That's why every single warm-up I do involves these questions when I warm up. That's a lovely stretch. You have to consistently ask for it, but it's lovely. Can she go even lower? Really good. Now keep her there though. It's not a matter of stretching down there and then coming back up. It's a matter of staying down there and marching with your head down. And that's the hard part. When we lose our reins, we're vulnerable. So she has to be connected enough to look for the contact but not sit on the contact. Good girl. Very good. Now how soft is she? Good. Now pick her back up about one of your knots length of rein. Asking her to stay just as soft as she was, you're going to take the trot, and before I do a transition from the halt or from the walk or from the trot, I'm going to ask him, will you come a little deeper and will you step into the transition? Because then I've solidified the fact that you're soft, and now I'm going to ask the transition, and I have to ride through the transition to keep it. Not bad. Now, if I take a little contact with my right rein like you're doing, will you give to me as much as I want, please? It's not that I'm going to take it and force it, although I am going to give it a little grief if nothing happens. Yep. Now, again, open your hand and bend her. Don't let it get buried in your lap. And then a little pressure and say, put your head lower. And if it doesn't happen at the trot, back to the walk, find it, and back to the trot. She should be able to touch her nose to the ground. You're not going to go that low, but even if she gets to her knees, great. At the walk, trot, and canter, and through the transition. Up, eyes up, shoulders back. Good catch. Right rein stays connected. Now I'm going to ask her to bend left and yield to me. Good. So now I'm going to ask her to yield and be a little softer still, and then I'm going to ask her for a little bit more motor. So can I press the motor a little bigger and still have you deeper and lower and softer so that you stretch your back even more? Yeah, good job. Good with your upper body. Better with your hand. That was a good catch. And now even lower. See if you can, just for curiosity's sake, put her chin to her chest. I'm not going to tell you that very often. Good. Very nice response. Now do it again. Yeah, careful not to snap. Good. Now shorten the reins a little bit more. Transition to the walk. All right, walk on. Now ask her to be on the bit a touch more. That's a lovely stretch. That's where I want her to go all the time. Good. Hi, Kathy Ann. We're running a couple minutes late. Go for a walk. Please. Good girl. Now shorten your reins up as though you're coming from the free walk to the medium walk. And she should remain just as soft. This becomes harder now because now I have to rechange my balance a tiny bit, rock back to my haunches, and carry my head and neck all by myself. Mom's not going to hold it for me. She's going to help me, but she's not going to hold. Yeah, good. Not going to hold it for me. What's that walk feel like?
Pretty good.
That's pretty nice. Yeah, and then when you're ready, will you go a little bit deeper? And if you will, I'm going to trot from there. Nice walk, nice march. Good answer to the question. Now, find your medium walk again because now she's back down to the free walk. Are you doing that on purpose?
I thought that's what you wanted.
Okay, no, you're going to pick her up to the medium walk and go to the trot. That's what I mean by ask her if she'll be softer. Just ask the question, are you soft, and then go to the trot if she is. Good girl. Take the rein short enough so that when you have the trot, it's a good length. Good. That was nice. Think a little shoulder 4 now to help her find that. Yes, good job. Bend around your leg. And yes, it's inconsistent. I don't expect it to be 100% consistent yet. In time, yeah. And when you feel her starting to fall apart, that's your big cue to go back to the walk or to do something to fix it. Very good. She stays connected to the right rein, the right hand stays down. Now inside seat bone to outside rein. And ask her again, will you come a little deeper if I ask? Oh yeah, she goes, oh yeah, sure if you ask. Good. Very good. Body tall. Yeah, how's that feel?
Good.
That's coming quite nicely now. Really good trot. That trot can go in the ring. Eyes up. So then you have to figure out how to stay consistent with it so that it's a constant conversation that's going on, but we're not now narrowing it from opening my hand and doing all that to just simply turning my wrist or closing my fingers or whatever in the one place that they're supposed to be in. All right, you sat on her to walk and let her hollow. Do that again. It doesn't matter that you sat on her. She's got to understand that when you sit on her back, and you have to understand, I have to ride through this transition to get a good one. I want the 8, I don't want the 6-5. Think a little shoulder 4. Yeah, and she braced a little, right?
Yeah.
Do it again. And that's all it is. It's a matter of doing it and doing it and doing it. And it's when you find that right one, the correct one, she gets to then have a break. So that's what's left in her mind to work with when you pick her back up. Very good. Bend half fold, bend half fold, bend half fold, keep my leg, bend half fold, and transition. Bend half fold, better, good catch. Tipped forward a tiny bit, and part of that, give her a break, part of that is do some rising and sitting on there so it's not always, I'm gonna sit when I do a transition.
Yeah. That's what I did the last 2 or 3 is I kept posting instead of sitting.
That was a nice trot.
Yeah.
Good
That's
girl.
the first, this last little bit, the first really connected trot I felt like I've had since I've gotten back on.
Good girl. It's just a matter of finding it, and it's all finding the softness, the yielding to pressure, and then